Hello and welcome to Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave. My name is Justin Davis, and like Easy E, I am back and better than ever. I am joined by the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn, and the namesake of this great show, of course, Mr. Pondwater Dave. Hello, everybody.
Hey, y'all. How's everybody doing?
I'm glad to be back. Sorry it's been so long. I've
Do you
been
need to
getting at
reintroduce
by parents and coaches and fans for the last month, so I'm back.
Why don't you reintroduce yourself?
Yes. I am Justin Davis, the bad basketball referee, according to the people in the gym.
I've never met a good one. I've never met a good one. I always say that the next good basketball referee I see will be the first.
Yeah. I always compare refereeing basketball like being the bad guy wrestler, and you just strap your shoes on a different night and expect to get yelled at the entire time.
Yeah, sometimes I'll say, "Dang, ref! At least when I suck, I'm supposed to."
Like a
Well-
breast pump?
Hey, y'all. We got a really great guest tonight from MPX Wrestling. He is the two-time former MPX champion. He just made his return at the Texas Rumble. He is 1 in a million. Tatum Manning. Tatum, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
What's going on, y'all? Thank you for having me. I really appreciate y'all. Sorry, I'm in a car. I'm trying to get some decent light on me.
You're good. You're good. Right off the bat, I want to ask. I watched the Rumble earlier today, and they said that you returned after a 6 months absence. And
Yep,
they said that you had quit.
I did. I had a pretty low moment in my career and my life. I had just lost the MPX championship to our good friend Aaron Eagle, and I threw a fit. Good friend. I hear we had a bad experience, which doesn't surprise me, really.
I am part of the anti-Aaron Eagle fan club now.
Yep.
But I digress. I want to talk about you, Tatum. I don't want to mention his name.
We'll get the anti-fan club up and running off the ground. However, I did lose the MPX championship to Aaron Eagle at one of our biggest shows of the year, 2023, Purple Rain, back in August, I believe it was. But now we are moving on to another one of our biggest shows every year, Destiny. And this has the potential. I don't want to, knock on wood, but it's probably going to be our biggest show at Metroplex Wrestling in the history of our company. This is the first time since I've been at Metroplex Wrestling that we are running a show outside of the MPX Event Center. And it just so happens to be in my hometown, Grand Prairie, Texas, about 3 minutes down the street from where I grew up at the Epic. And I am really, really excited. Pro Wrestling Revolver has run a couple of shows at the Epic that have been huge hits, sellout crowds. I was blessed enough to take part on one of them. Didn't get so much of a warm reaction in my hometown. I wasn't on the best of terms with our loyal fan base at that time. But this time is very different, and I could not be more excited.
Well, it's the first time that I can remember MPX running outside of one of their venues, because the last time I worked for MPX, they were still in the old building.
Oh, the Metroflex. Yeah, yes. I've heard a lot of stories. I've seen some videos from Metroflex.
Yeah, moving the weight equipment's always the fun.
Yeah, that's I hear a lot of that. I was lucky enough to come along after they got into the event center in Bedford. Let me turn this on real quick. There we go. I thought the light would stay on if I just turned the car off. Anyway, I was lucky enough to come along a little after those days. I do not quite as hard as some of the guys and girls who came in before I did. I didn't have to set up and take down rings, just move them a little bit, clean up the building. I did my fair share of being a security at MPX, but I was blessed enough to find MPX when I was still in high school. I started training in the summer of 2017, right before my senior year of high school. I'm 23 years old right now. I'll be 24 in April. I know I look a lot older than that, and I feel older than that. But I had my first match at MPX on June 1st, 2018. So I'm coming up on my 6-year anniversary pretty soon, right around the corner here. I love Metroplex Wrestling. I've worked for a lot of other promotions. I've had some great experience. I've had some not so great experiences, but MPX, man, it's always going to be my home. There's just nothing like it as far as a loyal crowd, our fan base. We run every week, which when I got into this business, this art that is pro wrestling, I didn't know. I grew up watching Friday Night SmackDown on my staticky TV in my bedroom as a kid, and all I knew of wrestling was weekly wrestling. I didn't really, I had no knowledge of indie wrestling. So for an independent pro wrestling company to run live shows and stream live every Saturday night or just every week is apparently unheard of. So I couldn't consider myself luckier that I found MPX when I did.
Well, I came from PCW. I mean,
PCW, brother.
I mean, I owe everything to Richard Hill and Lance Archer, and I mean, I owe those guys big for. I mean, because Richard gave me my first break. So
Yep.
And so the MPX bunch is near and dear to my heart as well, with Palmer and Athena and Jamie Aller and Cody Cox. And I'm probably missing people, but I mean, that whole I really miss, because I don't live in Texas anymore. So, because if I wouldn't have left Texas, I'm sure I'd be right there in the mix.
Yep, those are my people too, brother. I came up with those people. I've been blessed enough to pick everybody's brains, learn a whole lot. I'm lucky enough to be at a relatively young age and know as much as I know, have experienced as much as I have experienced, and be where I'm at currently. If obviously if I have my way, I'll be doing this for a real long time. Everybody wants to make it to the biggest stage that there is one day. Some people might be afraid to admit it. I'm not. I grew up. I've loved pro wrestling. I've been a fan of pro wrestling since I was a little kid, man. That's the reason that I got into this. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I love hearing how you basically training before you were out of school, or right when you got out of school.
Started training the summer before my senior year of high school.
I mean, I love stories like that. That you knew at at a very young age, like you said, you're watching it from day one, that you're watching wrestling. You're like, this is what I want to be, and then to be lucky enough to have such a great promotion basically in your back door, and
Yep.
getting to get involved with them. That's so wonderful. I love hearing stuff like that. I do want to say, I had to kind of take a gulp of air when you said you're 23, because that's how old my daughter is. And to think that you are already almost a veteran in a sense. I mean, as long as you've been going at it, and it's episodic, weekly, I just kind of think, like, goodness, that makes me feel old. Dave, is this how you feel all the time?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay. So weird. Okay.
So
Okay.
I went through some matches, Tatum, of your 6 years down there. One thing I noticed have not changed in those years, and that's the booty shorts. Where did that idea come from?
Man, when I started, I had a cheap pair of biker shorts that I got on highspots.com. Any guy guy, girl, anybody who's worked indies knows what highspots.com is. Got a super basic pair of bikers and kick pads and knee pads. It was a combination of cheap stuff online and wearing hand-me-downs from people who helped train me. I just, I saw other people in bikers. I'm like, oh, I like the way that looks. Let's see how it looks on me. And it didn't look the way that I wanted it to, but I was stubborn and hard headed. And I was like, nope, this is the look I'm rocking for at least another few years. But I just recently got into some long tights, some boots. Finally, I was the stubborn guy who wanted to wear kick pads but not throw a bunch of kicks for years. That's just a testament to my growth as a pro wrestler, as a performer, as a person.
I noticed one of your early matches. you were kind of yanking him down every now and then. I thought he's worried his junk's going to come out the bottom of this.
Oh man, brother, let me tell you, it's happened many, many times,
Yeah.
more than I'm proud to admit, and it it still happens to this day. I've got no butt, unfortunately, genetics. I've hip thrusted and done RDLs and deadlifts. It's a constant, I'm a constant work in progress. Everybody is. Came back at the Rumble, man, and I'm in there for less than a minute, and I'm like, oh, these aren't staying up. I need a belt bad. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much the story of my career, if you want to call it that, in pro wrestling. Is I've learned so much, just trial by error.
Yeah.
I When I started training, because I was really involved in school, especially my senior year, I was really on and off training, so I wasn't there nearly as much as I would have liked to be, or as much as I should have been, really. So when I started getting on to MPX and getting booked consistently, and getting these opportunities to basically show everybody what I'm about, I failed a lot, and the best way to succeed and learn how to succeed is to fail and
Hmm.
learn and go, okay, that's not going to happen again. And
Yeah.
sometimes it happens. Sometimes it takes the same thing happening 4 or 5 times to go, okay, can't let that happen again.
Hmm.
um, I consider myself really lucky that I had the opportunity to work in front of a live audience every single week for
Yes, I could
years
tell
and
your
years.
growth because I watched one of your early matches, and then I watched the one that you had with Eagle just, here recently for the
Hmm.
title, and I could see a ton of growth. I loved your kind of off the second rope stunner that you did in that match. I loved the crowd work you did with the woman letting her chop you at the beginning and getting heat with the crowd. I just thought
Oh,
I could
that would
really
be
see that.
Mrs. Aaron Eagle, that chopped
Yes.
me a little too hard. Also,
Yeah. But I could definitely
hard.
see, like I said, a lot of growth, man, and it was fun to kind of watch that when I was kind of researching you.
Yeah, man. If you're not growing, if you're not learning something, here and there, bits and pieces along the way, then you're not doing it right. Uh, again, trial by error. I'm a work in progress. We all are. I learn something new every time I go out there. I learn something new every day of my life.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how long you're in, there's always going to be something that you can pick up.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
train with Steve Kirby?
Yes, I did. I was going to get on to that. Stephen Kirby was my head trainer. Stephen Kirby would take me to training from his job before I even had a license to drive. Um,
Wow.
we did we didn't talk a whole lot. Kind of just sat there and listened to NPR. But Stephen is a very special person to me. I have him to thank for a lot. I owe a lot to him. Other people that influenced me pretty highly. Stephen Kirby is way out there. Athena, Matthew Palmer, other people that had a pretty big hand in training me, like Frankie Fisher, Dave Sagan, and just a handful of others. Like I said, I'm blessed enough to have had an opportunity to be surrounded by a lot of good people who are also learning and growing every day. Who have taught me a lot along the way.
One thing I thought was cool watching your match there against the Eagle is the whole setup there in the background with the purple logo that they have there for your just the whole background of the match. I think it's a really cool shot. I like it.
Yeah, the production value of MPX has just shot up like a rocket these last couple years. When I started there, we only had so much. We had, the white big block letters across the back wall that said Metroplex Wrestling. Sometimes they were in place, sometimes they weren't.
That purple
Uh,
looks freaking badass.
yeah,
Well,
Metro. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say the promotional video that Dave showed before about the Destiny, the show is really good. I mean, um,
Well, the
I
second one's been released, and I just don't have it yet.
oh, okay. Well,
I'll,
the
I'll try to
first
I'll
one,
try to have it for next week. But
yeah. Oh, let's not talk about next week. Um, but I mean, like you were just saying, that the production value has really improved, and it really comes across in the promotional value. I mean, that video is very good and very professionally done. You know, and it really makes you want to see what's going to happen at that show.
Yep. Like
MPX is first class, and it's got to be great having got to be great having Athena there with just with her knowledge of what television wrestling is about.
Right.
The things that she can provide to everybody there, knowing how to get a story in when you only have 5 minutes instead of. I mean, it's a little different. It's a little different when you're in front of a crowd and it's
Sure.
not for television, but she can teach everybody there things that'll be so valuable to them when they do get the AEW, they get the WWE, TNA, whatever other opportunities. When they got to give them, you got to tell a story in 5 minutes,
Right.
and so
And it's
I mean
episodics.
that's not that invaluable training was not available to us in 2005.
Right.
Right.
Well, and being episodic, you take that knowledge and you work on it continuously in a sense instead of you get it and then maybe you get to use it, twice in 6 months or whatever. I apologize. I told the guys earlier, it's really windy here. It's getting ready to storm, and I'm the only one here, and my dogs are like wanting to like show me they're barking and going crazy. So I had to go make sure they were taken care of. So that's why I stepped away. But Tatum, I wanted to ask if it hadn't been asked, who did you want to be when you were growing up? Who were you watching? Who do you think you are when you're on that top rope? Getting ready to come down. Are you Randy Savage? Are you RKOing people? Like, what are you doing?
um I've pulled inspiration from a lot of people because as a kid, I had the opportunity to have some time with Alex Shelley recently, who was very,
Oh,
very helpful and informative, and taught me a lot just in the short amount of time that I had with him. And he made a really good point when he said everybody romanticizes the wrestling that they grew up watching. There are a lot of people my age, that are getting into trying their hand at this wild wacky pro wrestling thing, who grew up with the same people that I grew up watching, your John Cena's and Randy Orton's and Edge, Undertaker, that ruthless aggression area is what I grew up with. I loved pro wrestling the second that I saw it,
hmm.
and I just wanted to get my hands on as much of it as possible. I had VHS tapes of a couple Sportatorium shows. I had WrestleMania 3 on VHS. One of my favorite pay-per-views I've ever watched from beginning to end. Uh, so I've been, lucky enough to be exposed to all kinds of different wrestling and, pull inspiration, from different things. But even as a little kid, I always wanted to create I wanted to be my own person.
Hmm.
I was like, what kind of a guy can I be? What kind of things can I say? What kind of things can I do that are gonna make me cool and interesting and stand out from the crowd? Uh, obviously, I saw these guys and these girls and these things that made me go ooh and ah. But for the most part, like I said, work in progress. I've kind of just been sculpting myself for years and years.
Cool.
So you've held the MPX championship twice now,
Yep,
and you've been the Addicts champion,
3-time Addicts champion.
and was it 5 times on the tag team?
I believe 4. I think 4.
4.
Yeah.
Who do you
So-
tag with?
I think I'm a 4-time Addicts
Oh.
champion. Are we talking about the same
I don't think
No.
so.
thing?
Sorry.
My first 2 MPX tag team championships were, I'm actually wearing the shirt right now. I got thrown into a group with 2 other guys, Loverboy Larry Canis and CJ Ward, King of Chill, CJ Ward, and we were Menage a Trois.
Oh,
Which
Justin, yes, it is what you were talking about.
Menage a Trois. A lot of innuendo, a lot of inappropriate
You're too
jokes,
young,
and
Tatum. Don't be.
I
No.
remember. I remember this.
Menage a
those
trois in those booty shorts.
and the booty shorts, brother. Those were
There's
those were
2 of your addicts right there, Justin. You're good to go.
those were fun times, man. Like thinking about like a mind for pro wrestling, I really had no idea what was going on. I was trained very well, but I was kind of thrown out there to the sharks just to see what I was capable of and, what I could do on my own. So luckily I found myself thrown into this group with Larry and CJ, who kind of just, held me by the hand and, basically showed me the ropes. It's like, hey brother, this this is how this is done. That's how that's done. And I'm really lucky to have had them. We went our separate ways. Uh, but I think that being in a group with two guys who were a lot more experienced than me and very, very good at what they did really took me pretty far and taught me a lot right out of the gate from the get-go early on.
So those two guys and you, between the three of you all, 4 times you were tag team champions?
So technically, I was a two-time not addicts, two-time NPX tag team champion with CJ Ward.
Okay.
My third NPX tag team championship was with Dave Sagan, who Dave Sagan, if you don't know anything about him, trained at Chikara up in the Philly area, came down to Texas for a few years. And, before Dave came along, I was really quiet. I rarely spoke. I just wanted to learn as much as I could. And then that guy kind of came around with this, larger than life, goofy, a little too goofy at times, being most times, kind of attitude, and really helped me kind of open up and learn to have fun with it. Dave had, a very similar situation to what I had recently. He was a very dominant NPX champion for a while, lost the NPX championship at Purple Rain 2020, and kind of disappeared, went into this hiatus where nobody knew what he was doing, what he was up to, when he would be back. And he came back and challenged Larger Than Life, who was made up of our current NPX champion, the Tommy Becker, and his tag team partner at the time, Ryan Remington, and who Dave just so happened to formerly be a part of a faction with those two.
Oh.
And so he came back and challenged them for the NPX tag team championships, and that he was going to bring his friend to take them from him with him, and that friend was me. So we formed Sagan Manning. We won the NPX Tag Team Championships from Tommy Becker and Ryan Remington, ending what I think was their very dominant. I think they were the longest reigning NPX Tag Team Champions in history at that time. And haha, we beat them. So we were NPX Tag Team Champions for a few months. We defended those titles every single week. We were churning out some great tag team wrestling. And we lost them to the team of leading man Michael Schaefer and Sebastian Envy. Got a rematch, lost again, and then Dave couldn't handle it, beat me up after the match.
Oh.
We had a pretty heated feud there, and at Purple Rain 2021, put out one of my favorite matches of all time, which was a hardcore match that we call Red Rain every year at Purple Rain. Balls to the wall, ladders, tables, chairs, barbed wire, you name it. I got scars from that match to this day. But I'm very, very proud of that match. That was my third NPX tag team champion partner. My fourth was Red Chambers, who I have a pretty long history with. Red Chambers was one of my big title defenses. I successfully retained the NPX championship in the main event of Destiny last year, in actually a Red Rain match with Red Chambers.
So is Red Rain match kind of like a no holds barred?
It's a hardcore
Red Rain match.
Hardcore?
Red Rain is
Okay.
a hardcore match. Pretty much anything goes. The only way to win is by pinfall or submission.
I got you. You probably said that. I'm sorry.
I noticed. I need to ask you about this picture. Y'all did too cool.
What? One of
Which
my
one
favorite,
are you? Which one?
The tall one that is barely, you can barely make him out.
Leaning all the way back into the other
Yeah, the
people?
one in front of the.
Oh no, that would be CJ Ward.
Oh, you're over here?
Over
Okay.
on the end by myself.
Okay.
One of my favorite things that MPX has ever done is our Retroplex show, where for one night we go out there, we have fun, we pretend to be the people that we grew up watching.
I
Or
see
just,
Trueborn back there.
Good old JR's back here.
Yeah,
rocking
no
the
kidding.
Earl Hebner.
Is that
Oh,
Earl?
I like
Rocking
it.
the Earl Hebner. Yeah,
Notice that I went with the heel ref immediately, Danny Davis. And then Cody Cox is doing JR.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were too cool, and we were
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed by Mankind and Kane.
As you should
I
be,
can't believe
right?
how
Too
good
cool.
Cody Cox looks like JR. Like he's even got the little bird legs to go with the kind of belly to go with it. Like it looks
You
perfect.
should have heard him. You should have heard him. It was even
I'd
better.
love to hear Cody Cox do JR. Hey, who was Mankind and Kane? Hardicus had to be Kane, right?
Hardakis, if I
always say his
remember
name wrong.
correctly, was Kane. I will not give away the identity of Mankind, though. I can't do that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, I've been to his house, and the dude really, without a shadow of a doubt, Kane's probably his all-time favorite. So that was
Well,
a no-brainer.
he better hope
Man,
he don't run
Hardak,
into Blue Cane. We'll have a
Blue Kane. Yeah, man, Hardakis is a monster. When I started in Menage a Trois, we had some interactions with the Crypt, which was made up of Hardakis, Sky de Lacrimosa, Jason Silver, and their manager Isaac Mazer. And Hardakis is a scary fellow. I At that time, I was very much a young, obnoxious guy walking out there in my Tommy Hilfiger sweaters, thinking that I could take on the world until Hardakis punched me square in the face. So very good lesson in humility there.
Yeah, I believe that in a prior incarnation, he has bumped me before, and
Maybe we
he's
need to talk.
intimidating.
Maybe
He's
we
very
need to talk to
intimidating.
him about our
No.
continuing subscriber issue. Like getting the subscribers. I do want to ask because to make sure. So, how many championships does MPX have? Like we have tag team and the world, but you also said the Addicts Championship.
The Addicts Championship is what would be considered our mid card title.
Gotcha.
Like an Intercontinental or a United States Championship. The Addicts Championship is the first singles title that I won. I won my first MPX Addicts Championship from Stephen Kirby. And winning that title for me and for many others after myself is very much a coming of age thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically your opportunity to step out on your own, get some sort of spotlight. It's called the Addicts Championship for a reason. Our loyal crowd, we refer to as our MPX Addicts. Holding the MPX Addicts Championship is basically you're representing our crowd, for better or worse.
Okay.
Did the Addicts replace the Prospects title?
The Prospect title is a championship title, where upon winning, you have the opportunity to successfully defend it 4 times. And once you have successfully defended the MPX Prospect Championship 4 times, you then have the ability to cash it in on any other championship, anytime, anywhere.
I always thought that was such a cool concept, and I loved the
cool,
belt with the removable numbers on the side plates.
Very cool concept. I've always been a big fan of it. That is the one title that escaped me. I never won the MPX Prospect Championship. However, that title has come and gone. We haven't seen anything of it since the last Prospect Champion was Kari Wright, and Kari Wright cashed in on Aaron Eagle to win the MPX Championship.
Yay!
Not long after Aaron Eagle beat me at Purple Rain this past year. Kari cashed in.
I don't like that last part, but I like the other part.
Amy.
He started it.
You started it.
No, I
last
didn't.
week. You did.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say we'll let her slide on this one, and I can only assume it was his fault.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, last week she popped off about him, and I said, "Hey, he's going to be on the show in a couple weeks." So
all I said is talking to Tommy Becker. I just said his pose looks weird. That's what I said, and he called me stupid on Facebook.
I thought you said his pose looked stupid.
Well, weird, stupid, whatever.
I'm sure I'll have to have the tape ready for next week. This is going to be
And so
you know who the crap's going to blow back on, right?
Well,
it's going to blow back on me.
Oh, because I'm your sidekick.
Naturally.
You got to control me.
Tatum, how is you in your career? How has it been as far as cutting promos for you? Has it been easy? Has it been a learning process, or how is it?
I've been cutting promos in the mirror since I was a little kid. And I had a background in acting before I got into pro wrestling,
Oh, okay.
so that has always been my strong suit. Is if I have a mic in my hand, whether I'm a good guy or a bad guy, I'm gonna do one of two things. That crowd is gonna love me or they're gonna hate me, but they're never gonna sit on their hands and be quiet.
So
You
wait
know
a
I
minute. You started wrestling in high school. So how did you have acting? What were you doing? Were you in
I
commercials? Like what? Are you a TV star and we didn't even know it?
You might have took theater
absolutely
in high
not.
school.
We
Absolutely.
have drama clubs in high school, Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not a TV star. Sounds very nice.
Yeah.
I did some auditions for film and television and commercials.
See, it wasn't drama
Uh,
club, guys.
but I you could say drama club. In high school, I went to a fine arts academy. Not quite as fancy as it sounds from the title, but I thankfully did have a lot of experience doing live shows in front of crowds. I had experience doing film and television projects in front of cameras. So I that's kind of a thing that I walked in, with a natural talent for, but also that's something that I had previous work on before I came in. I'd
Gotcha.
say that the thing that I struggled with the most was the in-ring aspect.
Yeah.
I was in decent shape when I started, not anywhere near the shape that I'm in now, and I'm still working on myself. But it took me a really long time to get all the basics down and feel
Hmm.
comfortable in my own shoes, walking and tussling around in the ring. You know, talking in front of a camera or directly to an audience, that's always been my strong suit. That's always, where I've been comfortable.
I think it served you well. When you did let me ask you about your first promo. Do you remember? Did you know your promo was coming up and had time to prepare for it, or did it get there? Did it get sprung on you last second? Like, hey, all we need you to go out there and do this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what my first promo was, when it was. There have been many. There have been many backstage segments. There have been many live promos. I just churn them out. If I'm given the opportunity to go out there or get in front of a camera and I've got a mic in my hand or I'm directly in front of a camera, uh, brother, I'll spit it out. I'll start talking. Sometimes I talk too much for my own good, but unfortunately, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you that I don't remember whatever
That's
my
all right.
first promo was or what it was about. I promise I'm not lying or embarrassed of it. I can't for the life of me remember what it was or when it was.
Yeah, I got to be a manager for a brief period of time, and I managed Mike Page and Joey Corman as the medics,
Hmm.
and we were getting ready to go through the curtain to run out and beat up Christopher Hayden and carrying Arcane, and Page goes, "Oh, grab the mic and you need to say this, this, and this,"
Yep.
and I'm like, so I didn't have time to be nervous about it.
Yeah, that's the most PCW thing I've ever heard.
I have a quick question, and I don't think we've
Yep.
ever asked this question to a guest on here. But when you told your family you wanted to do this, what was their reaction?
One.
They, for the most part, they were supportive. They knew that it was something that I had wanted to do since I was a little kid. They really wanted me to focus on school. They wanted me to make sure that, I was not failing, not worrying about, pro wrestling too much. They were worried about me getting hurt, as I should have been, because I've been hurt way too many times to count at this point. But, ultimately, I started training, and once I graduated and I got into being there consistently and really really hammering into, this is my life, this is what I want to do with my life. I have to get better at this by any means necessary. They could tell that it was something that I was really serious about. And at that point, I was an adult, and they were like, if this is what you want to do, then throw yourself into it. Take care of yourself, be safe, don't get hurt, which obviously you're gonna get hurt. But just give it everything you have, because we can tell that this is something that you're serious and passionate about. So I'm really blessed to have had a support system like that behind me.
That's good.
Kudos.
I
Yeah.
mean, this the wrestling business seems like you have to have two things: a real want to do it, and also a belief and confidence in yourself to make it.
I I will stand on this. This is my belief. The key to confidence in any area of your life is success. If I get up on stage and I'm bumbling and I'm speaking gibberish, but I speak it in a way that's very confident to you, you'll imagine that I'm saying something. A lot of people, they get into pro wrestling and they obviously love pro wrestling, but they take a long time to get comfortable in their own skin. They take a long time to really figure out who they are and who they want to be. And that's what a lot of people lack. I've seen so many people go out there on so many different shows and so many different promotions and have a great match, the bangers that everybody says that they want to have so bad, from bell to bell, absolutely phenomenal, really, really talented and athletic and agile and all those things. But, some people have the personality of a brick and it just doesn't really, you know, travel over to a crowd. Um, you
You
have to
can
have some
wrestle as
kind of,
well as you want, but if no one cares about it, it doesn't really matter, right?
nope, not really. I've gone through my phases where I like a certain style of wrestling and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so good," and back and forth and athletic. But then, at this point in my journey in pro wrestling, I would rather see a guy talk smack to a crowd and then get punched directly in the face and the entire stadium lose their minds, than two guys burn a bunch of calories for for 12 to 15 minutes.
Burn a bunch of
uh,
calories.
yeah, and that's just me, right? The great thing about pro wrestling is it's a sport, and it's an art. There's so many different ways that pro wrestling can be done. There's no one right or wrong way to do it. There are all kinds of different styles. Strong style, the strike fests, lucha libre, the running back and forth and all the different crazy cool athletic flips and stuff like that. There's deathmatch wrestling. There's that good gritty old school slow southern style, which is a little more my thing recently. I was lucky enough to be invited to the Dallas world premiere of the Iron Claw, and
Ooh.
man, when I left that theater, I was like, this is how I have an emotional connection to that movie in the same way I imagine a lot of older people in pro wrestling have a connection to The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. um,
Trying to
Man, I love
point to
that movie.
Dave in the right.
I
I
love.
spent from 1982 till the end. I was at the Sportatorium all the time.
I
I
could
mean,
I could not be
I went to every big show in the 80s.
I could not be more jealous of you, man, because I grew up with stories of the Sportatorium, and going back and watch. It's all on Peacock, man. Going back and watching shows from the Sportatorium on Peacock, there's just there's no other atmosphere that really feels quite like that. I feel it through my screen watching it, especially Von Erich and Freebird matches. Other people too, Chris Adams, Iceman King Parsons, a lot of those people, they were having really simple matches and just getting that whole crowd invested in every single little thing they did, and I love that so much.
One of my favorite matches from that era was just a opening match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Chris Adams versus Johnny Mantel
Hmm.
with the classic 5 more minutes at the
Yeah.
end, and they both agreed to go, and then Chris Adams won. Now later, Johnny Mantel, when I talked to Johnny Mantel about that match, he said, "Well, yeah, but that was just because Chris Adams didn't want to. He agreed to that just because he didn't want to end with a draw. He wanted to win."
Yep.
But I watched that match, and it was just the they had the crowd in the palm of their hand,
Yep.
and it was really kind of a babyface match because Johnny Mantel was not Chris was still a babyface, and Johnny Mantel wasn't a heel. So, but to watch them do that, and that just stands out,
Yep.
along, of course, all the great matches too stand out to me. But I mean, 1983 is my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And
So, Tatum, were you a fan of the Von Erichs? As in, like, obviously, that was way before your time. So, when you went to see the Iron Claw, were you like familiar with the stories? Were you able to watch it and not be like bogged down with some of the like, I don't think that's how that happened,
No,
things
yeah,
that.
I knew the specifics. I've seen, documentaries and read stories about, the whole Von Erich story. So, I watched the movie and I really walked into it, knowing that that was a special experience for me just to be invited to a world premiere, for a film, with
Mhm.
all the actors. Um, you know, ran past Kevin Von Erich a few times. Didn't want to be that guy to bother him because he was always busy and talking to somebody as much as I wanted to, as much as I wanted to just, say hi, introduce myself. Didn't get the chance to. That's fine. Um, but that was just such a special experience for me, like nothing that I've ever gotten to do before. So by the time the movie started, in the theater, I just sat down. I was like, I'm just gonna experience this. And can't I couldn't even imagine the possibility of not liking it or nitpicking it. I was just like, it's A24. A24 makes a lot of great movies. So things that were left out or things that might not necessarily be historically accurate don't really bother me. I love that movie from beginning to end. It was
I
Awesome.
awesome.
So, oh, go ahead, Dave.
no, I loved it too, but I went in open minded that I'd already been warned that it wasn't historically accurate. So
Right.
I went in open minded and made it a point not to pick it apart. Like that didn't happen that way. That didn't happen that way. And
Hmm.
then the only thing I could really, I didn't like how Carrie was portrayed. I didn't like how Fritz was portrayed.
Right.
Um, I mean, I don't feel like, I mean, I knew Fritz was a hard ass, but the way they portrayed him, I told everybody that I was surprised when Doris didn't cook dinner that Fritz didn't whoop her
I will say though, I love
because
that
that's what
opening.
it felt like.
I did
Yeah.
love the opening black and white scene with Fritz. I
That's the
thought
way wrestling should be presented.
that was fantastic.
That stood
Yeah.
out. The way that ring
Yeah.
was lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any biopic is going to be dramatized to a certain extent, because
Yes.
it's film. Everything is going to be exaggerated. Not everything's going to be historically accurate.
Right.
Um, but man, yeah, that's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. I went and watched it again after it came out. I watched it on Christmas Day with my girlfriend, who I actually took to the premiere with me, and I was like, man, I really want to see it
Oh,
again. I don't want to drag you to see it again. She's like, no, let's see it. We'll see it again. I really liked it. Let's do it again. I was like, cool.
hey.
So,
I'm so
And I,
jealous of you that you got to go to that premiere. When I saw where they were having it, because when I left Dallas, that they weren't using that theater for that, and
yeah,
I looked at that and I'm like, that's where they caught Lee Harvey Oswald.
yep.
Hey,
uh,
Tatum, do you know that that is David's tights up there behind Dave up there?
for
That's the
real.
actual tights
Trying to make it out.
It's a
I can't.
those are the yellow tights.
of David Von Erich.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at our
Wow.
producer, the chicken charge. Go,
Wow.
girl.
That's right.
That's a
That's
humble
awesome.
brag for me.
Well, and Dave says that he was at the Sportatorium. He was at the
Yeah, he stole
Sportatorium.
David's tights in the locker room. He snuck in there.
I wish I could say that I did that.
Okay. No.
Well, it would have been a
Yeah,
lot
it's
hell of a
awesome,
lot
man.
cheaper than what I paid for them.
Well, I guess that's true. That's probably
I
a
think
good
Jimmy
point.
Garvin stole Dave's tights.
And then made a pretty penny.
Yes, he did.
He's a smart businessman, that Jimmy Garvin.
Yeah.
Well, so
No, that's
Tatum,
awesome. I love it.
uh,
Yeah.
first off, now I have two questions. Is your girlfriend
Okay.
involved in wrestling? And what does she think? Oh, go ahead. You answer that one first. No.
um, I met her at my job, and she would come in with, different. She had like a DX hoodie and a John Moxley shirt, and other
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
I was like, hey, like I like, obviously, I was like, pretty girl. Hey, I'm actually a professional wrestler.
Uh-huh.
So, um, and just shamelessly plugged myself and what I do. And guess what? It worked. So she had seen some of my stuff. When we started seeing each other, I was on a break from MPX. I had a pulmonary laceration. I had a cut in my lung.
Oh,
Oh,
So
Lord.
a bump or a really hard chop had me coughing up blood. And so I had to take some time off. Took about 3.5 months off. And I told her, yeah, when I go back, I'm doing something completely different. I'm changing everything up. It's going to be so cool. I want you to see it. And so she started coming to the shows. And at that point, I had won my second MPX championship, and I had Dave Sagan return from Philly, from his homeland, to help me take out the Sons of Mayhem. And after the match, people are so happy to see him again, not quite as happy to see the guy who they see every week. And I hit him over the head with the MPX championship. And I basically grabbed the mic and I said, you people, you can cheer for this guy and love him as much as you can, but I'm here every week. I didn't up and abandon you and go halfway across the country or all the way across the country. And, where's that love? Where's that acceptance? Where's that appreciation? And she loved it. She was like, this is incredible. They absolutely hate you. They loved you 5 minutes ago, and now everybody in this building wants your head on a stick. And I'm like, yep, that's how we do it, baby.
Baby.
That's how
I
we
love
do
it.
brother.
Cool.
Dave Sagan, he's a hell of a talent too. I actually got to work with him. I never got to work with him in Texas, but I got to work with him in Chicago at the Wrestling Showcase in 2022.
Oh, is that when he got whooped by Ernest Cat Miller in about 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw footage of that. That was great.
Somebody
Dave
needed to tell his mama.
Dave Sagan is one of the best friends that I've made in pro wrestling, and like I said at the start of the interview, he had a really big hand in training me, and he kind of helped me open my mind and really get comfortable in pro wrestling, and learn to kind of have fun with everything I do. I don't just say this because he's one of my best friends, but he is one of the, if not the most underrated talent that I've ever worked with. When this guy started coming around and I met him, and I knew he was from Chikara. I knew he was trained by people like Drew Gulak and Mike Quackenbush. I was like, this guy's good, man. Like he might be one of these guys that comes and goes, and then one day, he's not going to be here anymore because he'll be, at another level. And Dave Sagan, I've been blessed enough to work with a lot of people who have all of the makings and all of the qualities of a main event television talent, and Dave Sagan is definitely one of those people.
Cool. I was going to ask, so what does 2024 look like for you? What do you got planned? What are you doing?
2024, it's like I've said this a few times. I appeared on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and I've said it multiple times at MPX. I'm just happy to be back. When I was MPX champion the second time, I had that title for almost 10 straight months. I currently hold the record for most successful MPX championship title defenses in the history of the company. I am second. Thank you. I am second place all time in days as MPX champion. Number one is Izzy James from back in the Metroflex days.
I really thought you were going to say Aaron Eagle, and I was going to be like,
No.
No.
Izzy James is another hellacious talent. He is
absolutely
something.
is. Yep. Absolutely. Haven't gotten the opportunity to work with Izzy James one-on-one. Been in a triple threat match with Izzy James, and hopefully I'll have those experiences with him further down the line too. But he's definitely one of those standout talents that I'm talking about. Where was I going here?
When I say it, I know y'all keep hearing me say, "Oh, that guy was a hell of a talent." They wouldn't be an MPX if they weren't a hell of a talent.
Oh no, I'm sure.
If you can make it at MPX, you can wrestle anywhere.
Absolutely.
Texas is a completely different game. And
Texas
that game is at a very high level now. There's so many quality places to work in Texas.
Yep, I 100% agree. Texas is a huge melting pot of just talent that's waiting to get out there and get to a big level and do their thing in front of so many people. Back to what I was saying about my last run here as MPX champion. Became a completely different person. Did a lot of bad, malicious things to people. Said a lot of things that I definitely regret. A lot of very Aaron Eagle-like things, I would imagine, after having him on your show. But I had 6 months this time. This is the longest break I've taken from Metroplex Wrestling since 2017, since I got my foot in the door there. I had a lot of time to take time off to reflect on myself, to think about, okay, who am I now? And who do I want to be? And ultimately, what everything has come down to is I just miss being the good guy, man. I miss, kids smiling and reaching out for high fives when I, walk through the curtain. I miss signing things for people. I miss taking pictures with people. We all come together in unison for one reason, and that's because we love pro wrestling. We're all fans, right? Some of us are performers, but we're all fans. We all love pro wrestling, and that's what brings us all together. That's what has all four of us on our screens together currently. Um, I miss making those memories with our crowd. I miss getting all of that love and energy and appreciation from our people, from my people. There's no other feeling like that in the world.
So what
That's
he's saying
awesome.
is, Amy, as the great Neil Young said, 24 and there's so much more. There's so much more to come in 2024.
I
But it,
love
Yep.
it.
but isn't it
I'm
great that you were
excited for
gone?
you.
That you were gone for 6 months, and they didn't really like you when you left.
Oh, they
But
hated
when
me
you
when I left.
but
They
when you
wanted my
came through
they wanted
that
my head on a
door,
stick.
but when you came through that door, that crowd popped for you. It's like wrestling fans will give you benefit of the doubt when you've been gone and you come back. They're like, okay, we're gonna put that behind us and we're gonna see what's up.
I got to tell you, um, I was definitely nervous before I hit the curtain. You had the whole video of me pulling up in my brand new Dodge Challenger, revving the engine up, wasting a bunch of gas. Getting out, walking up to the back door. You had the shot of the back of my head. I open the door, I slam it shut, the screen goes black, and everyone's like, "Hmm." But they see kind of, they're like, "Oh, is that?" And then the name on the screen, and they're like, "Oh my God, no way!" And I come back with a whole new attitude and so much fire and passion. I was scared. I was afraid of how I would be received. What if I come back, a whole new me, and the crowd is just like, "Oh, we still hate you. Boo, you suck," right? Um, but I could not be happier with the reception that I got. I got a huge reaction when I walked through that curtain.
It was
Um,
huge.
it
And then you
sparked
wanted to go
it's
jump on the biggest guy in the ring.
um but that
Go big, go
feeling,
home,
those
right? No.
yeah, those are the moments that we chase when you have all, you're anxious and you got these butterflies and you got these goosebumps and you're ready to go out there. Pro wrestling, a big lesson that I've learned in pro wrestling and just life generally is that you can plan for things and you can set everything in motion for yourself as much as you want, but very, very rarely in life do things always, fall into place the way that we want them to or expect them to. So we chase those moments where those things do fall into place the way that we want them to. And when they do, that's that moment that's the dragon that we chase, over and over and over again. Those are the moments that we want every single time.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get those moments every single time. And when we do, it makes them that much more special. Um, that's why with Destiny coming up in my hometown, uh, I'm super excited. I have a feeling that Destiny is going to be another one of those moments for me. And I cannot wait.
Do we know who you're facing yet?
I am going one-on-one with TNA's Trey Miguel.
Oh goodness,
Oh, I
Yeah,
like Trey too.
yeah.
that is going to be a great
You're gonna
match.
do
You
so
better not be
good.
rooting for him, Amy.
No, I'm not. I'm Tatum all the way.
um, man, I am anxious. I am a little intimidated. Not afraid to admit it, but I'm so ready. I can't wait. Like I said at MPX, I came back to win the Texas Rumble and, main event Destiny for the third year in a row for the MPX championship. And that didn't happen. I was eliminated by Aaron Eagle twice, actually. I was sent back in
Jesus.
by an awesome fan of ours, Chris Hicks. Shout out to Chris Hicks, who gave me the opportunity to get back into the Texas Rumble. I got into an interaction with Sky De La Cremosa. Aaron Eagle, of course, took advantage of that and tossed me out. So
Mm.
I am unfortunately not in the main event of Destiny for the MPX Championship, but that's okay because, like I said, I'm back and I'm back to do what I love. and that is show up and show out for everybody who pays their hard-earned money to be with us and experience, this journey with us. Um, and especially it being at the Epic, I'm beyond excited. And Trey Miguel, teenage Trey Miguel, one of the best talents that there is out there. The fatal four way that I
Exactly.
won, the fatal four way that I won this past Saturday night, I had the opportunity to challenge anybody that I wanted. I've seen Trey Miguel advertised as being at Destiny for weeks and weeks, and people have been so excited. What's Trey Miguel gonna do? Who's Trey Miguel gonna go toe to toe with? And I'm taking that opportunity most definitely, 100%, and I can't wait.
That's
We
Well,
awesome.
can't
we
wait to
wish you
watch it. That's for
No
sure.
we
kidding.
wish
Yep.
you the best of luck. I
Thank
mean,
you.
we're super excited for you. We're excited
Thank you.
to keep an eye on what you're going to be doing this year. Uh,
Where
anytime that you want to come back on and promote something, the door is always open for you.
Absolutely.
We're
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
we're
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a great time so far.
and where
we're
can
Tatum.
we get that shirt for Justin that you have on now?
Oh,
Oh, Menage a Trois.
Yeah,
This
Justin
this
needs
is
that.
one of probably 3 or 4 left,
that's in my
unfortunately.
past, Amy. I haven't had one of those in at least 6 months. Uh,
tell everybody where they can find you, Tatum.
You can look up Tatum Manning on Facebook. Not a hard man to find. You can look me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is going to be that MF Tatum. You
Okay.
can
That
find me on Instagram at Trey TRE Breezy Boy BOI. Because I didn't know how to spell. Apparently,
You were
when
young.
I made
You
my
were young.
Instagram handle,
It's okay.
I was young.
You were young.
Um, but yep,
that's how the gays spell it, anyways, Tatum. It's fine.
BOI.
Hey, what about merchandise? Do you have your merchandise online?
I am selling my merchandise every week myself at Metroplex Wrestling. Any inquiries can always DM me on any form of social media. I can work on getting shirts, other forms of merchandise shipped to you at any time.
Well,
We're
good
gonna
deal.
get that shirt for you, Justin. That's you got it.
I'll
You
wear
need
it.
to have it. I was
This
gonna
one
say
right
you
here.
need to have it. Yes, he probably take the one
Hey,
you have
Tatum,
on
please
right
make.
now.
I do want to know: is this match that you're doing here coming up? Is it going to be on eventually out on YouTube? Because that may be the only place
Um,
I can watch it.
MPX does stream live every show on Twitch,
Oh, okay.
and I do believe that some shows and certain showcase matches do end up getting uploaded to YouTube. I'm working on getting all of my matches uploaded myself. So one way or
Cool.
another, you'll be able to find it eventually.
And
Awesome.
for
That would
everybody,
be
we'll get that Twitch, that link for Twitch. We'll put it on all of our socials. Because that match, that card will be broadcast live, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Destiny
I
will be
go out of
oh,
your
broadcast
way to
live from
watch
the
it.
Epic in Grand Prairie.
I mean, top quality wrestling, top quality stars, a palace of a venue. I mean, go out and support MPX. Destiny's going to be a tremendous card. And Tatum Manning and Trey Miguel. I can't. I'm gonna be in the
oh,
ring that night, so I'm gonna have to watch it after the fact. But
tell me that
if I
don't look
wasn't already
stupid.
booked, I'd make the trip to town and grab my grandsons and we'd be there.
I know.
Because
Tell me
Um,
that pose don't look stupid. Look at Trey Miguel.
Dave,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
I do want you to work for them because I dig that purple and black ref shirt that they rock. You look good in that.
it's funny
I
you
love
say that because I noticed it earlier when I was watching the Rumble.
And just think, Tatum, you get to wrestle him. That's so awesome.
Yep. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Well, Trey Miguel's going to be in for a hell of a battle, that's for sure.
March
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
16th. Check it out. March 16th.
All right,
Good deal.
thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Tatum Manning, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tatum.
for having me. I appreciate
Thank-
y'all.
We appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Good luck.
Thank you so much. I'll see y'all soon.
Take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye bye.
How about that, y'all?
I know. How great for him to get to wrestle Trey
Oh,
Miguel.
I think we could have talked to him for another hour.
Oh, he definitely is a great interview and just
Oh, yeah.
personable, love to talk. I mean, even though he's old, I mean, he's only 23. He's done several things. And with MPX being episodic, he probably has a lot of wrestling under his belt compared to maybe someone else who's only been in the business for a short time. Does that make sense?
Yes. Man, that's going to be a hell of a match.
No kidding. And that's going to be live. We can watch it on.
You can watch it on Twitch.
We'll do it live.
Dave's working.
I'm working.
Justin,
You know, when I saw
don't
you
know.
point at Dave earlier, Amy, I think it's like the Brady Bunch. I got to look up.
I know. I'm like,
Hey, I want to take a minute to thank our studio audience for riding with us tonight. We got Allison Faye, Andrew Hermes, Terry Weaver, the TNA. Those are the TNA Top 10 podcasts. Got a new episode out. I'm really enjoying their off-season stuff. Go out of your way to listen to them. Not at work.
oh Lord. Well, that's only because of Andrew, I bet, right?
We got Lance Peterson here. Thank you,
This
Lance.
week
Lance
on the
said,
top 10 list is the top 10 things that Andrew got talked to by PR this week.
Lance Peterson said, good interview. Lance is in the area. He should go out. He should make it a point to go to that show.
Yes.
Lance Peterson does the World Class Cast on the with Mike Mills. Dave and the HSV is in the chat.
He said our truth hates you. Aw.
Our Truth does not hate me. This 31 flavors and he's choosing salty. Everybody was bragging about Our Truth liking tweets. So I said, well, I see y'all's likes and I'll raise you a follow.
Oh, he followed you?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, Our Truth.
Wonder who he thinks you are.
Super Dave Osborne. That's 100% who he thinks I am. And so who else we got out there tonight? Willie Buck's out there like he always is. We appreciate him.
Coach Keith was on earlier.
Coach
Bobby
Keith
was there. And I
Joyam, welcome to the show. Appreciate you riding with us tonight.
He said he was joining us from France or something.
He said bonjour.
He did say bonjour. I don't put it past him. I mean, he's been to Japan. Who knows?
Yeah. I want some wine now.
Bobby KFS GTX Bell to Bell Productions was here.
I do want to tell Bobby, I'm always doing a countdown. As soon as I get back, I'm counting down to the next break. So I'm sure Justin is too.
Timmy C's in the waiting room.
Is he? Is he going to join us?
I could pop him in here.
Oh, sure. Lord. I don't know if I'm prepared for this on my first week back.
Is he?
Timmy C, welcome to Talking Wrestling with Palmwater Dave.
Hold on. There we
go. He wears his sunglasses at night, Dave.
He was not prepared.
I am definitely unprepared for this. Hold on. Hey, now.
Hey, guess what? We are too.
Go to the hard camera, Timmy.
Hey, wait a minute. What? You're unprepared. That's no good.
No, I don't. Yeah, I did their show and they had like all these notes and everything. And I'm like, man, I don't do that.
Dave said, what?
I do this shit live.
I don't know how to read.
Very little editing. I mean, I'll jot down time cues.
I will say, Tim, your show that dropped today, very good. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you and TJ and Dave banter.
You know who I don't give credit for?
Who?
Zero credit to that guy.
Oh.
Hey, before we go any further.
I was going to say, I do like how you all have started doing it almost like name that tune. I can do it in 4. I can do it in 5. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's a nice little twist to the game that y'all have put out. What are you guys out doing?
Drinking beers. Twisted tea, baby.
Well, let's raise a glass to the late great Ole Anderson.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
hate you, Justin.
The voice of the Shockmaster.
I'm gonna tell you what. I've heard people say a lot of heinous shit about Ole Anderson over the years, and I've heard. I mean, his reputation might be deserved, but the man was nothing but kind to me every time I met him. And I remember being at NWA Legends in 2008, and I was enjoying a few adult beverages, and as I will, and I was in an elevator with him, and there were several people in the elevator, and
Was
it's
Aerosmith playing?
no,
Loving an
But-
elevator.
but I just go, and I said, Oli, and he goes, yes, and I go, I love you. And every head in the elevator just stick around to look at me. And Oli just kind of laughed. He goes, well, pal, I love you too. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. Because I couldn't run.
I don't think you were. I don't think you were thinking.
But we had some friends I grew up with, and we'd be in the movies. We'd go see a movie, and one of them would go, like my friend Bobby would say to my friend Bo, he'd go, Bo? And Bo would go, yes. And he goes, I love you. And he'd do this in a movie theater during a movie if there was a quiet part. So this getting each other over the years. And I don't know why I decided that it was a good idea to do that to Ole Anderson. But I'm going to tell you what, and my wife said I was scared of him because a few years later, she goes, well, you wouldn't even go up to him. And I said, I never had a problem with Ole. And she goes, no, he was on the couch. I said, yeah, I didn't want to disturb him on the couch. But she had no problem disturbing him on the couch because she grabbed my picture that I wanted autographed and she ran it in there and Ole signed it for her on the couch. So my Four Horsemen, that's how I got my Ole signature on my Four Horsemen picture.
What do you mean? Where'd you see him on a couch?
He used to sit in the couch in the lobby at the Hilton.
Haven't you ever watched
sweetheart?
Amy? Haven't you ever watched Casting Couch on Pornhub?
Yeah, you guys have heard of
what? No, I did not.
You guys have heard of Elf on the Shelf. Well, now you've seen Grouch on a Couch.
So
I wonder why Amy kept inviting me to Mayfield. I didn't know that for a casting couch.
But but that lobby area was always fun. It was what was the old NWA Legends, the current gathering that T-Mart does. But Ole couldn't get around well. So he would just sit down in the lobby and he would just talk wrestling the whole weekend. So say what you want to about him.
I'll only say good things. He's dead. So
well, hey, let's bring Danny. Let's bring Danny in since Danny Bateman.
This is like when Mork and Mindy was on Happy.
You spelled dumbass wrong.
This is truly the Brady Bunch.
How do we get Danny Bateman out of TJ Stevens? That's what I want to know.
See, every week on the show, I'm a different fictional sports star.
Okay.
Danny Bateman was the linebacker.
We wish you were a fictional host.
Your dick. So
I was looking in the waiting room and I'm like, man, I feel like I should know who this is.
Danny Bateman.
Danny Bateman is the linebacker from The Replacements.
So then he turned the camera on and I'm like, okay, so let's bring him in. But I was like,
so that would make me
like
the
I
kicker.
know who
What's
this
the
guy
kicker's
is, and
name?
I don't want to be the ass.
Was that John Favreau, Danny Bateman?
Yeah. The kicker was Nigel Gruff.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the kicker. Well, actually, it might be Justin.
The best thing we can say about our only offensive weapon is he's wiry. What the shit is that?
I'm the running back that's like, hey, he's going to jail.
I'm Shane Falco. I bang the cheerleader.
You are not Shane Falco. Amy is Shane Falco.
My grandmother loved that movie, and
you're the stripper cheerleader.
Oh gosh.
I don't know what happened to
you
TJ.
Might rather have Justin be that. I don't know.
No. TJ, keep doing it. You got my number, bro. You look good. Look at you over there.
What the hell?
the big beard is gone.
I've got slick back hair now. I'm growing my hair out.
TJ's ugly without the beard. He needs to grow it back.
He looks good.
You should have just stopped after like the fourth word.
Allison Faye, I am Shane Falco. Look at my beautiful hair.
Incorrect.
And I got a boat.
What is that? Well, he had a crappy boat. Your boat's not so crappy.
Well, y'all want to play trivia with us?
Hell yeah.
We're
Have you watched our show?
Oh, I know
I'm going
how it goes.
Okay, so now I'm a little nervous because my trivia is not nearly going to be like name, 1997.
Barry Bonds.
For those that don't
Jerome
know,
Bettis. That was
for those that don't know, we've now been joined by the FFP podcast.
James Francis.
Popcast, excuse me.
Filter free popcast.
Filter free popcast.
all right. So I went ahead and
Hey,
said,
hey, wait a
yes.
minute. Let's do some housekeeping while we got them here.
"Oh
Hey
yes,
boys,
yes,
I'm gonna need
do
y'all to clean. I'm gonna need y'all to clean up the StreamYard a little bit. We're running out of storage.
it."
Well, okay.
Yeah,
We
we're
can do
like,
that.
we're right up at our 50-hour limit, and
Oh, you mean for
I've
that?
deleted all mine.
Okay.
Get on it, TJ.
We'll keep
I-
deleting more of yours. Don't worry.
I
In
like
fact,
to sit
we
here.
probably delete this one right now.
Don't delete
I like
delete
to
the
sit here in the
recordings,
dark.
not the broadcasts.
I like to sit here in the dark and
That would
rewatch
not
our
be
old
cool, y'all.
episodes.
Tell us about what the the topic is tonight. Are we doing trivia about
Well,
future
you know,
podcast
Jane
guests that
Falco.
Amy wants to shit on?
no, they don't need to be mean to me, and I will not be mean to them. That's
You
how
said
this
his
works.
post was stupid, Amy.
It was stupid.
And I even said
didn't
to
say
you,
it to his face.
I even tried
I
I tried to give you an opportunity to back it up.
What podcast we gonna fight with?
It's no. Oh, next. Okay, so what happened is that we had the Tommy Becker on last week. He is he is he
The
was on to
MPX
promote.
champion.
I'm sorry. Well, I was going to say he was on to promote Destiny, which is MPX big event that's coming on the.
Oh yeah, you
He-
posted about that on Facebook.
Yes, and he is going against a guy. I guess he's a guy named Aaron Angel or Angel. No,
Eagle.
Aaron Eagle.
Aaron Eagle.
And he just had, and so they showed me the promo pic, and Aaron Eagle just had a weird stance. And all I
Yes.
said to Tommy Becker, I said, "That's a weird. That looks stupid.
He's a
Well,
hero.
I don't
Is Luke-
care."
Is Lou Gossett Jr. his manager? Because if your name's Aaron Eagle, you should definitely
That's a deep cut.
at least Jason Gedrick. Jesus.
Oh,
I'm
that's a
just
deep
saying
cut.
that looks goofy. He called me stupid on Facebook. He told me he hopes I fall off a curb.
Which one looks goofy, the left or the
He
right?
told-
The right,
right.
the one that's got his arm up.
No,
in the
no,
air.
the left guy looks goofy. He looks like he's trying to meet Justin on Tinder.
Say, guys, let's pretend like one of us works in the professional wrestling industry or wants to keep working in the professional wrestling industry.
But Aaron Eagle.
Hey, Dave, you let him on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess that shit's on me.
That's true. But yeah, so he just is. He told me he hopes I fall off a curb.
He told me to keep.
Well-
He told me
well,
to control my sidekick.
Yeah.
Well, if you fall off a curb, Amy, I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm just
Curb's
saying.
only like 4 inches. I think you'll be okay.
then you'll help me up, right?
Yep.
Laugh at me,
Aaron
then
Eagle
help
is
me
a
up.
hero.
He
Most
ain't
of the
my
curbs in
hero.
Mayfield got blown away by the tornado, so you don't really
But
have
you
to
didn't.
worry
You
about
didn't
it.
comment on my post, Dave. I said we need to have Queen Amy versus Aaron Eagle and Pond Water on a pole match.
I like distancing. I can't distance enough.
I think honestly we should have an Iron Eagle watch along with the 6 of us.
Hey, I've known Aaron Eagle. I've known Aaron Eagle for almost 20 years.
Let's have Aaron Eagle on for an Iron Eagle watch along.
There you go.
And then
All
we
the
can get,
Eagles.
and then we can get Ian Eagle, who announces for the San Diego Chargers with us also.
And I'll get Jason Gedrick because he ain't doing anything.
And I'll pretend I'm Louis Gossett Jr.
And the actual
got the hair
Eagles will
for it.
come and do the
We got the
trick.
same haircut.
Very true. That's very true.
And you got that
Never
boat,
mind.
you're probably almost as tan.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon.
No. He's not Sammy Sosa.
It's reverse Sammy Sosa.
It's a reverse Sammy. Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is that because we are now in WrestleMania season, it's number 40, WrestleMania 40. So I cut it in half and I did trivia for WrestleMania 20.
I can't
Oh,
believe
thanks,
there's been
Amy.
40 of them. Jesus
You know,
Christ.
that's
I will
right
be
up my
terrible
alley.
at this.
I mean, I watched the first one. I had to go to
Me
the cable
too.
com- I had to go to the cable company, put a deposit down to get a box to hook up to my television.
Mhm.
And it was like
And then a
$30,
pigeon took his
$40.
What was her
It
name?
was a lot of
Why
money.
didn't you
in
just go to the
1985.
movie theater? Didn't they have it at movie theaters? Maybe
I
not
don't-
in Mississippi.
What was the
Well, I
name
was
of
in
the
Dallas.
box you
He
put
was
the
in
deposit
Dallas.
on?
I was in Dallas and they gave me a box and I had to take it home. Back then, our cable, we had the remote was like a wire that You'd hold it was like the size of a calculator.
Was
It had a wire that ran to the television. And
Dave was so rich, he had cable back in '85.
wasn't
That's
that closed circuit? It wasn't even right.
no,
Dave had closed circuit running to his television.
we were able to go get a box from the cable company.
What was her name?
I didn't get cable until 10 years after. Dave.
Melinda was her
I
name.
watched WrestleMania 1 at home
That's awesome.
and had to listen to my dad. Talk shit about me doing it.
How
Sure
old
fought
were
him.
you, Pondwater? How old were you?
28.
I was going to say.
I was about to turn 21 in 1985.
So was he getting on to you for like spending? your
Damn, I
money
thought I
on
was
it?
going high.
Well, here's the deal: is that
Fuck, I thought you were gonna be like 12.
no. Here's the deal: is that
I was 6.
I moved out when I was 18.
Right.
No, I was 19 years old in 85. I was
Okay,
19.
good.
I was
dude.
19.
I'm
did the
glad I
math
went
wrong.
high.
Well, I was trying to figure out how I'd moved back in.
You had
I
the
bought
perm
my
for
parents'
sure.
house. I bought my childhood home, but my
Out from
parents'
under your
house wasn't
parents?
ready.
That's rude.
Well, my parents' house wasn't ready,
He
so I
evicted
had to
them.
live with them.
He
I had to live
evicted
with them.
his parents.
But the problem was, is I moved back in, and then my dad thought that because I was living back at home, that I was going to be subject to his rules. But we'd already gone to closing, so I told my dad,
So I
if
kicked
you-
his ass
if
out.
you're going to live in my house, you got to go by my rules.
Did you kick them out of the master bedroom?
No,
You know,
That'd be
every
the
first
kid
thing I
has
said
never
when I
Look
got
here,
to
damn
do
it. This
that.
is my house.
When I got
When
the
his
keys,
house
first
was
thing I
ready-
would have said is get the shit out.
well, when his house was ready, he wasn't in no hurry to move.
You ain't gonna be banging my mama in my bedroom.
I'm so glad we're here for the Pondwater Dave heel turn.
So,
When I was 19,
well, here's the
The
pro.
E for
here's the pro
everyone.
move.
out my house.
Oh,
Used to be their house. I bought it.
no, dude, I'm gonna tell you a story that I can't. No, I ain't gonna tell that story.
I've
One
already
time
been
over a
turned heel
beer
enough.
though. The first time I told Dad, if you were gonna live in my house, we're gonna go by my rules, was when I was wanting to go to this young lady's apartment. She had her own apartment, but we were in a snowstorm, and he told me I wasn't gonna go out in it. And I'm like, wait a minute, we're gonna get up at 3:00 in the morning to drive. It's a 15-minute drive to our store. But we're going to get up at 3:00 in the morning. We're going to leave 4 hours before we open to make sure that we're there to get this store open on time. And if I can go to work in this weather, I can go to work in this weather. I'm going over to this apartment.
Get some
And,
tang.
It was Mississippi. What was it like?
No, I was in Dallas.
Half inch of snow.
I was
There
going
was
to
some
say,
fog out on the road.
Oh,
too.
Dallas. What? A half inch of rain?
Yeah, I was saying, but that's the first time I dropped that. If we're going to live in my house, we're going to go by my rules. So anyway,
So I bought the house.
so
Kicked
when
his
house
ass out
was ready,
in the rain.
when his house was ready, he said he wasn't in no hurry to move. And I had 2 roommates ready to move in, and it was going to be party central. So we got a truck, and the very first thing we moved was his bed. So he wasn't sleeping there that night. There was no going back, and we got him moved out.
I've heard this song.
my
I was
favorite part
drunk
of this entire story.
The day
is
my
you're
mom
questioning-
got out
you're
of prison.
questioning when a snowstorm in Mississippi looks like, and Dave goes, "No, stupid, it was Dallas."
Well, I mean, they actually
Pardon
look the
me.
same.
Slightly further south.
You know, you
Like-
just never know when you're going to get one of these Dave stories. Like, we never knew this. This is another layer of the young.
I love it.
Just come
Yeah,
out.
you didn't know he was a heel in real life.
Yeah, that he kicked his dad out of his house and bought his dad's
Yeah.
house from him.
I bought it out from under him because he defaulted.
Actually, he couldn't find anybody to buy it, so he made the down payment for me, and dumped it on me.
Even better.
If he
goes,
made
"And
the
that's how
down
I met
payment, he wasn't
Conrad
really
Thompson."
dumping it on you.
Well, no, I mean,
That
he did-
bastard.
Did you sell
Made
it
the
and
down
make money with
payment
it
and-
later on?
I
Had me
broke
take
I
those
broke even
payments.
because I had bad foundation.
Hey, Timmy, he mowed his yard for him too. That fucking bastard.
That son of a bitch. Kicked
Had
him
the
out.
lines all
He mowed
crooked
my
around
yard
the
for
tree,
6
looking like
months.
shit.
Left the dog, wouldn't take the dog to the new house.
Aw, don't
I
like
told you
that.
I wanted it like the cornfield in the Aerosmith video. Okay,
It's just crazy.
Please, for the love of God, let's play trivia.
All right, WrestleMania 20 was held at Madison Square Garden.
Correct.
Including WrestleMania 20, how many times has WrestleMania been at that venue?
4.
2.
At
Two.
the time?
4.
At
Three.
At the time of 20.
Yes, at the time of
Oh,
20.
including
Okay.
20.
3.
Including
1,
20.
2, 10, 20.
I'm going 3.
Yeah, 3.
4.
It is 3. Number 2 was
1,
not
10,
at
and
Madison
20.
Square Garden.
Number
No, the
number
first
2
one
was
was at
in 3
Madison
different
Square
places,
Garden.
wasn't it?
Yes.
No, that was at
Number
Nassau
2 was at
Coliseum.
Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it was
fudge
in 3
balls.
different places, like you were
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
was.
thought it was at Madison Square Garden and then Chicago and LA.
Nope. 1, 10,
No.
20.
It
1,
is
10, and
exactly
20.
1, 10, 20. And you can see why. You hate to think they should have done 30, 40. Like that would be very nostalgic, but it only holds 20,000 people.
It's way too big. WrestleMania is way too. It'd be a 7-night WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden.
And
Exactly.
tickets would be $30,000 a piece.
It'd be a
There
residency.
wouldn't be any tickets.
Yeah,
It's
The
okay. They already
WrestleMania
are.
residency.
Very true. Very true. They kind of outgrown it. All right. Number 2. WrestleMania 20 has the distinction of being the earliest scheduled WrestleMania to date. What day in March was it held? The 14th, the 18th,
26th.
the 22nd, or
18th.
26th?
Say the 18th.
26.
I'm going to go 22.
I'm going to go
Justin?
22 with Dave because 2 is my lucky number. Come on, 2.
It is actually the 14th.
It's 14, of course.
I got it right.
Was.
That's
Damn
Pete
you,
Rose's
Vince
number.
McMahon.
Timmy went with Pete Rose's number.
Should have.
Boy, that is early.
Yeah. Yes, that is and it's
It
never
was
been
held in
any
February.
earlier.
What the
That's
hell?
good. All right. Number 3. How many matches were on the WrestleMania 20 card?
Too many.
Did you have 10, 11,
11.
12, or 13?
13. Because it was
12.
forever.
11.
I'm going 12.
11 sounds right because I think it was in a neck and neck battle with WrestleMania 4 for most matches.
I'm going to say 10 because that just seems like a lot for a WrestleMania.
There was actually 12.
Come on, baby.
Damn it.
Come on.
This was a time period where you had Raw and SmackDown with their own kind of rosters, and it only being one night. So
This game is stupid.
Aw.
That's rude.
Hope you fall
It's a
off curb.
It's a trivia Dave doesn't win. He hates it.
Next question. How many titles were on the line during WrestleMania 20? 5,
8.
6, 7, or 8?
Okay, I don't see. Okay. Brady
So
was
there
in
were
here
2
destroying
world
something.
champions,
6.
tag team champion,
Hardcore.
intercontinental champion, U.S. champion.
I'm gonna say 8.
Two
I'ma go
tag titles,
7.
2 world titles, U.S.
7.
Cruiserweight, 6.
Shut up, asshole. 7.
Was the Intercontinental on?
World Intercontinental.
Or the
Tag.
women? 7.
Yeah, I want to switch to 7.
7.
You
It's
are
7.
correct. It was 7.
No, it was 8.
No.
It was 7. It was the U.S. title, the World Tag Team title, the Cruiserweight title, the WWE Tag Team titles, the Women's title, the WWE Championship, and then the World Heavyweight Championship. Those were the 7. How many? Oh, next question. How many champions lost their titles at WrestleMania 20? Was it 0, 2, 4, or 6?
2.
2.
2.
Deuces.
Do
4?
you?
Who said
Big
4?
Show and Triple H.
Didn't Benoit win the championship at 20?
Yeah, from Triple H.
We don't talk about him.
You know, Dave is exactly correct. It was John Cena beat Big Show for the U.S.
I
title.
thought, did you just call John Cena a bitch?
No,
He's
Wait.
fisting on OnlyFans.
He
if
does
you
run
guys
an
know.
OnlyFans now, so maybe.
I know. I heard that. I heard.
Actually,
y'all
no.
talk
Tonight
about
he's
that.
teabagging people. That's what he was doing.
Oh,
But
I
you
hope-
said he
Nah, he's
might do
probably
a
having people-
collaboration.
Yeah, his
with,
the
Randy
OnlyFans
Orton.
is his character Ricky Stanicki or whatever it is for that movie that he's doing.
Sounds
He was
like
on the
a,
Howard Stern
sounds
show
like a
last
great
week.
way to make money.
No kidding. The World Heavyweight Championship was won by Chris Benoit, but it was a triple threat with
Yep, it's
Triple
Shawn
H
Michaels and
and
Triple
Shawn
H.
Michaels.
and that bitch HBK.
It's a
for
free
too long.
account. I mean, it's a free subscription.
What happened to Bret Hart at this point, Justin?
Uh,
Oh, he had already had his head kicked off.
I think he was trying to ride his bike right around now.
And he fell off that too.
I like to ride my bicycle. Stroke.
All right,
I'd be
next
so
question is a
Please
fill in the
start
blank. Goldberg and Lesnar's match required a special
Stone Cold
guest
Steve
referee.
Austin.
Austin.
Yeah, it was
Very
Austin.
good. Did you know who that was? It was
The
Stone
crowd
Cold
shit all
Steve
over
Austin.
the match.
Except
Yes,
for Stone
because
Cold stunning both of them.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
where this is
exactly.
where I first developed a problem with Brock Lesnar. Because I
Well-
felt like it was a bitch thing to do to announce that you were leaving and going to the NFL. You're going to go try to
Right.
play
Well,
football.
he wasn't actually going to the NFL. He was
He
going
was going to go
to.
try, but to me, that wasn't an announcement that needed to be made
Prior to
before
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
right before your
Timmy, you know
match.
he made the Vikings, right?
He did not. He made
He
their
made the
practice squad.
You know what his
That's
number
not
was?
making the team.
Tim, you know
69.
what his
Vikings
number
legend,
was?
Brock Lesnar.
69.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
All right, last
Epic.
question.
Amy, do you know what two snakes are when they 69? You know what you call it when two snakes 69?
No.
11.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
10 wrestlers and 1 celebrity were inducted into the 2004 WWE
Pete
Hall
Rose.
of Fame. Can you name the celebrity?
Pete
Very
Rose.
good, Timmy C. That was Pete Rose.
Yeah.
So they had stopped doing
Montreal
the Hall of
Expos
Fame.
legend.
The Hit King. I met him.
They stopped doing the Hall of Fame for it ended in 1996, and so they picked it back up in 2024. So the 2024 class was Big John Studd, Don Morocco, Greg Valentine, Harley Race, Jesse Ventura, JYD, Sergeant Slaughter, Superstar Billy Graham, Tito Santana, and Bobby Heenan.
That is literally the most out of
mean-
shape class ever.
She
The
just said
list
it was
picked up when you-
2024, so that was a spoiler for everybody.
2004. I'm sorry. You know I get a little tongue tied sometimes. Sorry.
When
Hey, I'm
I'm
gonna
glad
tell
that
you-
list picked up over time because when you listed the first 3, I was like, "Holy shit, that's terrible."
I have a Pete Rose autographed baseball.
I have a
Hey.
Me too. I got a baseball. Hold on. Oh, that's
Is yours an
that's really
official
good.
Major
Hold
League
on.
Baseball?
Yes. Hold
Who's
on.
the commissioner stamped on yours?
Not Bart Giamatti. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Mine is.
Bud effing Seelig.
There's signed to me, Tim, a great fan, Pete Rose, Hit King,
I
4256.
love Pete Rose.
A great
but
fan.
my
of
baseball
giant
is the commissioner stamp is A. Bartlett Giamatti.
I can't believe he
Uh,
did that. That's
for
Y'all
my
know who's
dad,
better than Pete Rose at hitting?
Nobody.
Not Mike.
Mike Zanino.
For my dad's 60th
Carlton Fisk.
birthday,
That's the
we
only one
got
I know
him
y'all
a
say a
Pete
lot.
Rose cameo, and he cried when we got it for him.
Pete
That's
Rose
really
did?
sweet.
That's weird.
Yeah, Pete Rose cried about it. It was-
He said, God, I hate doing these cameos.
But that was trivia, and so I think we'll kind of pick around to the WrestleManias until WrestleMania when we do trivia. I don't know what I'll do next week, but we got 40
We'll
to
all
pick
be
from.
back next week. It's
Are
fine.
y'all ready for Palm Water's predicament this week?
I don't
Yes.
think we're ready.
His what?
He's
Oh,
about to go
predicament.
off on a national.
Predicament. Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me tell y'all what I like. I'm gonna start it off with what I like before I tell you what I don't like. What I like a Dave's number 2 with cheese. I like Biggie fries.
Who?
I like-
no,
I like-
no. The
I
hell
like
with
a-
that.
I like a Frosty.
Mm.
I
You're
even
gonna
like
like
that.
this,
I
Tim.
like that
Let him
Applewood
know.
bacon they use. You know what I don't like? I don't like stupid.
Shit. I'll see you
Stupid
later.
pisses me off.
I know what you're gonna say.
And some genius at Wendy's.
Mhm.
Well, Wendy
Uh-oh.
was in the special needs class. That's commonly known. Wendy
Easy
was.
there. Calm down.
Well,
Get us kicked off here.
remove the graphic.
Uh-oh.
Stupid pisses me off. And they announced today that they may incorporate surge pricing.
Mhm.
Now, if you're in an Uber or a Lyft and there's a special event and it's real busy, they have what's called surge pricing, which means they screw your legs off for a ride, but you don't want to walk, so you'll pay it.
Hmm.
But what in the fuck makes you think
We're
that
getting
if you have a
confused.
$5.99 cheeseburger and I roll up at 6 and you've done raised the price to $8, that I'm going to pay for that? That is rabbit ass stupid. Now, just for suggesting that, I will not darken the door at Wendy's again because y'all are stupid. Like if you took a BB and you put it in a boxcar, that would be compatible to whoever this genius's brain is up a gnat's ass. I mean, sir, if brains were linen, you couldn't Kotex a fly. The audacity. Where do you find the audacity suggest surge pricing? I mean, hell, y'all
Linen?
did good to get the damn order right. And now
It's
you
cotton.
expect these geniuses working at Wendy's to figure out if my cheeseburger is going to be $7, $11, $14. Jesus.
So
But here's what I want y'all to do. Here's what I want y'all to do. Whoever came up with the idea that fast food needs surge pricing, I want you to take 2 sticks of dynamite, 2 sticks, and I want you to take 1 stick and shove it up your ass.
Pee
And
hole.
then I want you to take the other stick and stick it up Todd A. Penagor's ass.
Oh,
Because for allowing this. And then
Are we
once you
gonna
get those
leave
2
Dave
sticks
and
of
Wendy out
dynamite
of it?
shoved up y'all's asses, somebody lied them.
well,
Did-
we've
did
got a
Tim leave?
comment. We have a comment in the chat from Chris that says that's actually not what happened. They were going to lower the prices to draw in business during slow time.
Okay, so at 2 a.m. you can go get a fucking 30 cents off your cheeseburger. All right.
That's what Chris says. I don't know.
Did
What's
Tim
gonna happen
leave?
is it's gonna fuck up everything. People are gonna be at the drive-through. Yo, let me get a cheeseburger, fry, and a frosty. Okay, sir, that'll be $18.90. Fuck that, I ain't paying that for no cheeseburger.
Because it's like 6:30 or something.
And
Now
everybody's
it's-
gonna drive off. Yeah. Stupid.
well, if what Chris is saying, then during the busy times it should just stay the regular price, and during the slow times it should drop. That would be a
Get
good
the
thing,
matches
right?
ready.
Huh?
But get the matches ready. But normally surge pricing means we're going to go up.
Well, I take it to where here's my question. If you order it at say 4 o'clock on the app and it's at the low price, and then you pick it up at 5 and it's at the high price, what do you I mean, I guess you pay for it before you go get it, so it don't matter.
Well,
But the whole thing's confusing, I
well,
guess.
let's don't piss on my rant because it was such a well-crafted rant.
I was gonna say
2 sticks of dynamite's going to be a shirt at jumpinthepond.com.
it absolutely should be. I was gonna say I don't know if I've met this pond water before, but he can stay around.
He's way
Well,
better than the other one.
He's elderly.
Our
He comes
truth is
out
probably
once
like
a
this
show,
pound water.
I am elderly.
He's
I mean,
an
the only
elder-
thing he was missing was this the whole time.
But
You know who doesn't have surge pricing?
well, Chris has shown up. Chris has shown up as the voice of reason.
I
I
don't
never
have
said-
surge pricing.
McDonald's would never.
This is my reward. Because today, yours truly
Oh, actually,
Well, I've got a platform.
won his 6th, count them 6, right behind Brady, outstanding store manager for McDonald's.
oh,
Oh,
damn.
congratulations,
I didn't know he
Gil.
was in the presence of such.
And I got a bottle of Crown Apple for it. So
You know what sucks about that though?
They didn't give
still
you
work
something
at
from
McDonald's.
Kentucky. They didn't give you something from Kentucky.
no,
You know,
Does
I-
your shake machine work?
always,
Ice cream machine work? That's why.
always.
that's
all it
why he's manager of the year.
Hey,
That's right.
Chris calmed me down a little bit, but
And
I
he
got a
did
platform and I'm
attribute
going to use it. So let all fast food franchises be warned. If y'all start poontanging around with the prices,
Poontang.
Poontang.
Hey, I
Hey.
just got a text, Pond Water. It's from Wendy's CEO. He told you to shut the fuck up.
Dave Thomas is dead, motherfucker.
well, if he told me to shut the fuck up, I'm telling him to go get a ladder, climb up to the top, and kiss a tall Indian's ass. 'Cause
Well,
we ain't having it.
as you said,
We're not having it.
Chris is the voice of reason, and he said they never said surge pricing on the call. That was from the New York Post article. Can you imagine the New York Post would screw something up? That's unbelievable. But
Well-
so, anyways,
I saw Corey Ryan Forster do a pretty good one too. So, I mean, none of us are happy about this because, I mean, I have a
Wendy's
choice.
sucks. Why
I have a
would you go there?
choice, and I mean, I enjoy Wendy's, but I mean,
I always go
Okay,
for
mate.
the spicy chicken sandwich. That's my go-to.
Spicy
I will
chicken
take,
nugs.
I will take my
Yeah.
ass
That's
to
good, too.
McDonald's.
The
In a
weird thing is when
heartbeat.
you go in and ask for the hot cock, though, because that.
I do that every place I go, Tim. You know that.
Allison Faye.
Hey Tim, I like my chicken nuggets hot, so I'll normally order like
Just so you know,
I'll normally order them at least 20 at a time, so they have to cook them.
well, that you can. All right, I'm gonna give you a little secret because this is like everyone thinks that if you go to McDonald's and ask for no salt fries, that's how you get them. Just ask for, be like, hey, can you cook it to order? We have a button that says cook to order. It'll take a little longer, yes, but don't get your fries without salt. That's dumb because then you got to ask for salt and you look
Who
like
wants
an
fries
asshole.
without salt.
That's how everyone thinks you get fresh fries. Order them no salt because they have.
No, I see. You gotta do what I do.
Not a
You
lie.
try one. You try one. And if it's cold, be like, motherfucker, this shit's cold. Let me get
Then
some
he
hot
throws
fries.
it at him, and Dave goes to jail. So that's how that works.
Would you
But
believe? Would you
seriously,
believe
just whatever you want, ask cook to order.
well,
The ice cream machine. All right, I'll tell you about the
I'm
ice cream
taking note
machine.
of that
Do
right
you
now.
do you want to know why the ice cream machine is broken like every McDonald's?
Because they don't want to fix it.
they don't want to clean
No,
it.
that is not it. It's usually because the cleaning of it is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So if you go to a McDonald's and they tell you the ice cream machine's broken, thank your lucky
Oh
stars.
God,
Because otherwise you're getting crappy ice cream.
You're
Man.
getting salmonella.
I'm telling you,
Not
cleaning
salmonella
ice cream
like it's
machines are a
green.
pain in the
How
ass. We
often
had a
are they
shake machine,
supposed to be
shake machine at
recommended?
Arby's.
How
And
often
that
do they
thing-
recommend to clean them, Tim?
Every night.
Every
Well,
day.
You're gonna get diarrhea if you eat
So
McDonald's
here's
ice
the
cream.
thing with McDonald's ice cream machines. Also, why they're broken a lot. There's a special function where every night it heats up the mix to a certain level, kills all the bacteria, just like a nightly cleaning. We actually only pull the machine apart and clean it, depending on the model, every 14 or 28 days.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah.
I have a 28-day machine that is always up because that 28-day cleaning is very important. Like it, just like in your sex life, Justin, you got to have lots of lube.
Yeah.
Got to
And
make
lots
sure
of
the
pills.
O-rings are tight.
Is there pills involved? Because I usually need
No
that.
pills.
Oh.
Get lots of lube. Make sure the O-rings are tight. Nothing's out of place. Everything gets in the proper hole.
They clean out them pipes.
Yep. And then you're ready to roll for another 28 days. So
So
once
do you
every 4
usually
weeks.
clean it like after, like, when do you clean it? Like in the morning when no one wants ice cream, or
Yeah.
like?
Yeah. Usually 6 a.m. But I will tell you, with DoorDash, there's been a lot more stoners that are like ordering ice cream at 6 a.m. It's crazy. I'm like, what are you doing with a Shamrock Shake at 6:30 in the morning?
By the way, I want to
You know
give.
what's
I
funny?
will give a review on the Shamrock Shake. I just had my first one in my lifetime 2 weeks ago. That's a 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, it's mint.
Listen, I
know
like
what's funny?
mint, but it
It's
tastes
fire.
too much. It's almost toothpastey.
Well,
it's almost like
here's the secret. The mix is also vanilla flavored. So when you mix it with mint, it's vanilla mint, which is like,
yeah. I wasn't a
Effing
fan.
mint.
Yeah, the best thing
Hey.
is the holiday pie. There's no doubt about it. I'll always eat.
If I
that
could
for
get
the rest of my
DoorDash,
life.
if I could get DoorDash, I would pay ridiculous prices.
you would have to have
basic-
DoorDash in a wheelbarrow, Pondwater.
Oh my God, I would pay so much money to have stuff delivered to me, but
Cletus
right-
with
but-
a wheelbarrow.
but you introduce that
Wendy's.
surge price and you're dead to me.
The only surge pricing I want is if they bring back the soda surge.
Tune in to Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave, where you can hear the secrets about McDonald's. That's what we're here for.
Man, we went from excellent wrestling
To excellent restaurant commentary. What are you talking about?
and now I've picked a fight. I will never be sponsored by Wendy's after this podcast, but I'm good with it.
To hell with
Crap on
Wendy's.
Wendy's all you want. I'm still ordering that spicy chicken sandwich.
By the
every
way,
week.
we're getting ready to get spicy nuggets down here.
Hell yeah! It's about
Hey, y'all
time,
had spicy
McDonald's.
nuggets before, and I'm gonna tell you, I was less than impressed with them.
You know what I
was
wish they
too.
would bring back that we had several years ago? Pondwater, you'll remember this. We had the Mighty Wings, which
Yeah.
were the whole fried wing. Oh, those were so good. McDonald's
fried
wasted
chicken wings.
5 million pounds of wings that year
It was not
because
good.
no one bought
I don't
them.
remember it being all that great.
Hey,
They were
Timmy,
good.
up here
They
by
were really
me,
good.
about an hour and a half north of me, was the last McDonald's in America to still serve the McPizza, and they just quit like 2 years ago.
Gross. Yuck.
Yeah.
When I went to Quebec, they had McLobster.
What was it called? Because it was like French. McWobster.
It was lobster. I don't know.
McLobster.
Terry
Oh.
Weaver's bringing facts here. Bring
What's
back the
your?
steak roll.
I have a question for you three. What's your next show? What's the?
Oh,
PJ?
Jesus.
What are we doing next?
I voted for CWA. Just
Yeah,
so
I'm
y'all
going to
know.
hang myself. That's what's going to happen next week.
I'm off next week.
Ooh,
So
you know what we're watching
Oh, it
next?
don't matter, Dave.
No, our next show, not live show. Just, well, it will be live because we've
All of our
decided
shows will.
we're going to start doing a lot of live shows, just like you guys.
We'll do it live.
We have so much fun with our audience. They
We do.
definitely have lots of good comments. They have questions. Very interactive. So definitely the way to go.
We
Allison
started this
Faye's
because
trying
I'm
to get
lazy
dubbed
and I didn't want to
McNick.
edit video anymore.
That's a
But-
fact. I'm with you on that.
Shut
I mean,
up.
unless
I
I say
hate
something
both of
highly,
you.
if we say something highly controversial, or like the crowd, we have a guest on that somebody doesn't like, and then they overdo the chat, and I have to pull the episode and re-edit.
That happened one time.
So we're editing Dave out of this episode. Cool.
But I mean, that's why we started going live, and I love it so much just to have I love having the live studio audience.
Me too. And we have a question from. I got one more McDonald's question, and Terry Weaver brought this up. Tim, the steak bagel.
April
breakfast
1st.
thing. I loved it as a kid.
April
when
1st nationwide.
Yes, it came back and it came back here. I tried it.
knows?
It didn't taste. I don't know. Maybe it was because it wasn't my childhood. It didn't taste the same. There was
I
something.
only eat breakfast at Bojangles.
It's solid also.
McDonald's.
I just
breakfast
had
is
Bojangles
trash.
last week.
Well, guess what? If you go north of Tennessee, you're not getting Bojangles.
I went to Lexington to get.
Also, our next show is CWA from March of '87. I cannot tell you how amazing that show was.
By the way, Popeye is far superior to Bojangles.
No way, you're poor.
Well, that's what
what's my
Tim.
tax bracket have to do with it?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you that Timmy's not exactly wrong because
Oh, I'm gonna tell you this though. I tried because Bojangles got rid of those shitty tenders. What were they called? Dave, you eat there all the time. What were those shitty things called?
I don't know. I don't eat tenders at Bojangles.
Surely
Well,
they
see,
didn't
down
call them
here-
chicken selects like some other place.
No, whatever they were trash. But they introduced a new chicken tender that I tried. That shit was fire.
man,
And
they're
it's gigantic. I got a 5-piece and I was like, yeah, I'm not.
well,
finishing
down here
this.
they have a limited menu, so all you can get is tenders. You can't get like a chicken leg or a thigh or a breast.
Terry
You
Weaver
can't get
says
like
they're
a
called-
Cajun filet.
No, you're getting chicken tenders down here. That's a
That's
limit.
all. They changed the name from Bojangles to chicken tenders.
Man, they're doing tenders. You're not getting
Terry
getting
Weaver
an
says that
8-piece.
they're
That's
called
for sure.
Supremes, Tim.
They,
So
yeah,
what
they
else
were
is it?
called Supremes. They were not Supreme though. They were inferiors. That's what they should have been called.
So when I go to Bojangles down here,
Do
we're
you
getting
take the belt?
tenders. Huh?
Do you take the belt?
No, I didn't take the belt. I had the
Supremes
belt.
were not delicious, T Weave.
I did
The
have the
new
belt in the
tenders
car,
are delicious.
but I'm not. I mean, I'm not walking in there. That's Jay-Z's thing, but I do have this
Quit
Bojangles
doing it.
belt, and I guess that kind of makes me the Mississippi Bojangles champion.
He knows that if he walks in there with that
Where you
belt,
can only get chicken tenders.
if you
Well-
walk into a Bojangles with that belt, some redneck's gonna body slam you and take it. And that'll be like the hardcore.
His name's
champion.
Dave in the QC or
Hey.
Dave in the HSV.
Hey, there ain't nobody taking nothing from me. Doctor said take medicine and shake it well. That's about as. I mean,
Hey,
I'm not.
he's
You just got to be
point. A
careful
dude-
of the syringe it's coming out of.
A dude
I mean,
shot
I'll
him in the
take-
head and didn't get him, so he's got a point on that.
That's very
I mean, I
true.
may not be the best fighter. Well, I'm not eating anywhere in Jackson, Mississippi. I'll go to Flowood, where the Bojangles is.
Flow.
Then we have one in West Monroe, and then we got over in Louisiana. They got them in Ruston and in West Monroe, and that's where we went. But I mean, my fighting style is unique because I'm a firm believer in punching somebody in the fist with my face.
how TJ fights.
I mean,
Well,
truth be
well.
told, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I am too.
But I am kind of a fighter too. So don't get fresh.
My fighting style is to hop on a mechanical bull and see
And
if
get
it can
beat
rip
up.
my arm off. Yeah. And it does, by the way.
I just want to know if TJ is using the same Just for Men as Tony Schiavone uses in that beard over there.
Well, Timmy, you're in the dating pool. So
I'm out of the dating pool now.
oh, are you?
Breaking news on Talking Wrestling with Palmwater Dave.
Oh, well,
What?
congratulations. But if you want something that's more fun than a mechanical bull,
Mechanical
when you're in
sheep.
the throes of passion, get behind her, reach around and grab one breast, throw that arm up in the air. Say, this is how your sister likes it, and then try to hang on for 8 seconds.
We're not going to last on YouTube tonight, are we, Dave?
Well, she has 7 sisters, so that's problematic.
You boys have brought out the worst in me.
I like it. So, by the way, all right, peek behind the curtain. I'm done with this. Peek behind the curtain. We're here to negotiate.
We'll wrap this episode up and then we'll do that.
Oh,
next week on Talking Wrestling, we're gonna bring my hero and yours,
Yeah.
the winner of the Texas Rumble, getting his title shot against the Tommy Becker at Destiny on March 16th, Mr. Aaron Eagle, who has taken great exception and canceled our Amy.
Yeah, canceled me. Called me
He
stupid.
canceled you.
Called me stupid.
Yeah.
Queen Amy's gonna come out. Listen here, boy.
Exactly.
I am not stupid. I'm Amy.
She's gonna hit him with a bless his heart, Dave.
I mean,
Right.
so there ain't no telling what's going to happen next week with him and Amy.
Well, with that belly, she's probably gonna like tap it a little bit. Do a little Kamala on it. Tell him he's a fat ass, and I said so.
I'm telling you. I mean, I try to have Amy's back. I really have. But,
there should be no but.
I got your back, Amy.
Period. There you go.
I'll come on.
I mean, I'm torn. I want
to see Timmy get beat up by Aaron Eagle.
Natalie Imbruglia style. He's torn.
I'm like an old flag flapping in the wind. I'm torn and conflicted, and
You got half of that right. Old is correct.
So join us next week as we welcome Aaron Eagle
to hell
to our show on his way to Destiny, March 16th.
I'll be back.
Where he will get beat.
Where he will be challenging the Tommy Becker.
And will be getting beaten by the Tommy Becker.
Is that Boris's kid?
No.
Boris Becker.
I heard a rumor that Amy's going to be managing Tommy Becker during this time.
1987 French Open champion Boris Becker.
And I mean, not only did she shit on a guest, she obviously shit on a listener because he had to listen. He had to listen to the episode to hear her call his move stupid.
Now you're losing listeners, Amy. You're fired.
I mean, darn.
Well, she could gain more depending on how much she charges for shitting on him. I mean,
all right, Dave, am I going to take us out of here?
Please, somebody take us out of here.
For the crew over there of Mr. Dave and the QC and TJ and Timmy C, and of course Pondwater Dave and the First Lady of the Arn Anderson fan club.
Whoa! She's the First Lady of the Sid Vicious fan club.
Oh, okay.
Today I am anti-Aaron Eagle fan club member.
Have them all. All right. My name is Justin Davis saying please take care of yourself and each other. So long, everyone.